So we're showing a piece called 20F Simultaneity, which actually comes from a performance that was developed between Algis, Kizys, and myself called 20F. And 20F refers to actually Fahrenheit, so that's the temperature in which we actually built the piece in an unheated barn upstate in New York. And so we were practicing starting 2000, so during the pandemic, but we've been working on it for 5 years on this performance, 20F. And then we've invited Michael Lisnet, who's a cinematographer, to come and film us. And as he was filming us, there was a new piece that started to develop, which is the idea of an installation, which is showing a lot of our performance moves, so to speak, so capturing different aspects of the performance that then start to become a documentation that was very intimate. So we were seeing us from a 360 camera that was set on my body. So then it was showing my view during the performance, and then expanding all the way to a drone shot. So that's literally a couple feet above, so this sort of aerial bird's eye view. And then we started shooting in the snow. So we went from an indoor documentation to outdoor documentation that was a little challenging. It was a bit like adventure sport where you're trying to catch the snow, get everybody on site. We had to outfit these mirrors. They're 6-foot diameter parabolic mirrors that are my tool or my medium. And these mirrors were built by MIT for holographic research. And they were given to me by Simon Lee, an amazing artist, who had inherited them. And so I basically started to activate them with using flashlights and conceived of a live performance where I would gesture with the flashlights and use them almost like a drumstick or an intonation into the mirrors. And was sort of revealing their physical qualities and their manipulation of light. Like a physics demonstration of what parabolic shape will do to light beams. And in doing so, I was exploring a little bit the magic of these mirrors and their capacities. Algis's sounds are what I'm responding to, and we create these different soundscapes or these different visualscapes that I'm exploring and that the audience is exploring with me. And so in this piece, we show all the variations in a way, or fragments of the variations of the art of the different performances. And so 20F Simultaneity is now an immersive installation where you can be part of the piece in a way, and you can experience it from the outside, from the inside. I guess in general, my passion is space, but it can go from, the micro, the atomic level to the cosmic level, which is the idea of how you represent the universe as a whole. And that's been a sort of a conundrum that I've tried to explore as a visual artist, is to find the limits of that representation. So sometimes you can't necessarily represent it through visual form. It might be through a feeling. So in this piece, I'm exploring the dimensions of the universe, small and large, but through a feeling, an impression. And so in other artworks that I do, maybe I'll be exploring it through the ephemeral aspect, which is, time through space. So a sculpture that moves, that appears and disappears, and therefore it's evolving through time. So these are different explorations that I've undertaken. Sometimes it's in a performance form, or sometimes it's in sculpture, sometimes it's in ephemeral sculpture, or physical objects that you could put on your wall or handle, with wood and other materials. So yeah, there's materials. The different materials that I use are going to be neon, LED. I've worked a little bit with lasers, or a lot, but I've used them sometimes in some artworks, and also projection, obviously, with video, and even photography on some level is a relationship with light. So yeah, that's one of my primary mediums, but I love linking that medium, which is light, with traditional materials such as metal or wood, or even using it as a painting, as we're doing here, which is an ephemeral painting through video. So it's very amorphous for me what the limits of light are, and how I can integrate them into the expression of this, my ideas and exploration of the universe, so to speak, is my topic. So, I've got a training in, sculpture, painting, photography, traditional fine art training, and then when I arrived in New York, I sort of got involved in theater. I was interested in the ephemeral quality of theater, and then slowly over time, I kind of merged the different fields that I was trained in. So even a little bit of music and also dance. So I have a real true multimedia training, and so obviously also working with water and waterfalls, working with Namjoon Paik, I also ended up discovering the relationship between light and mediums such as smoke and water. And so I would say that slowly my sculpture, my traditional training became a very, what I call exploded sculpture, which is basically exploded in space. So it can be that the sculpture is, it's a memory in the end. It's not even a fixed object. I'm right now working on a proposal for Red Hook in New York City for making a smoke sculpture that would be integrated into an industrial landmark crane lift. So I really love the relationship between nature and the industrial relics of cities. And so this is one of the pieces that I'm working on that might be in October this year. Otherwise, I'm actually exploring the concept in renewable energy and how that can work with sculpture and public art. So that's really the long arching view of where I'm going with my work, which is to bring traditional sculptures into the public space and then turn them into nurturing environments for people. So it would be something that brings fresh water to people, or natural food, or cooling sculptures, or sculptures that elevate from a mindset point of view. So the mentality of like how people feel in their own bodies when they, after walking through, experiencing the artwork. So something that elevates from one perspective or another. So that's what I'm working on right now. Well, this piece 20F, the performance in 20F Simultaneity, this is the first iteration of the installation. We're probably going to show it again, and in that case we will have a live performance that will be integrated into the piece that will be staggered over time. So sometimes installation, sometimes live performance. We do have a performance on September 10, which will be a partial presentation of 20F because our mirrors can't make it through the doors. So we're doing, Algis Kizys will do a live performance, and I'll be mixing these videos live as if I were myself in the mirrors. So that's September 10 at 7:30 p.m.